I just want to say, first of all, that I love the way my car smells. Cindy's mother gave me a bucket of chlorine tablets for our pool that she couldn't use, and I have them in the car, and so my car smells like vacation. Vacation to me smells like two things. Sorry. One of them is sunscreen, and the other one is chlorine. Oh, yeah. Anyhow, I was trying to think of another story to tell about us when we lived in Carlston, Minnesota, and I've mentioned in earlier videos that I worked at a little store called Monte's Super Value, and and I've said before it was a small store, but it was the biggest grocery store in Carlston. There were two of them, which is really quite something if you think the population was less than 750 people. But anyway, I worked at this store called Monte's, and it had 4 aisles. I mean, it really was about the size. I'm not even sure it was as big as a Dollar General, but it was about the size of a Dollar General. And sometimes Monte would order things that just didn't sell. They just weren't popular with the local population. So one of these things was this like 50-pound bag of birdseed. I mean, this thing sat there on the ground in the produce section for months. And so, okay, keep that in mind. Sitting on the ground, Monte Super Value. One of the things that we had to do every Friday, we did what was called overstock. And what overstock was basically it's the stuff that when you didn't empty an entire box or case or crate or whatever when you filled the shelves, and we usually did that twice a week, filling the shelves. But anyway, so you'd have these partial boxes, and so and these things were stacked in what we called the back room, and basically the stack of overstock stuff went all the way to the ceiling, and it filled up a space that was probably 10 feet wide. We'll say 10 feet. Yeah, 10 feet wide, 10 feet long. So 100 square feet. That may be a little bit bigger than it was, but anyway. So every week we would go back there, and we would take that whole stack down, and the stack never was very, because you can imagine these are boxes that aren't full. They're odd sized. We're combining and recombining and anyway. So one of the things that we would do is then we would take our little carts, our little dollies, and we would load them up with this stuff, and we would roll them out to the floor and make little stacks in different places. And then we would go back and try to take items out of the overstock boxes and refill the shelves with them. So the reason I'm telling you that is to remind you of the little dolly that I had a load of stuff on, and the 50-pound bag of birdseed. Okay, so I'm coming out from the back room. I got my little cart of stuff. I'm going down, and then I hear this noise. I mean, and I had hit something. Don't get me wrong. I know I had bumped into something, but not hard. But I had touched something, and so I hear this noise, sort of like a light wind blowing. And I thought, oh, that's weird. What is that sound? And so I looked down, and I had caught the cotter pin that held the wheels onto my little grocery dolly and raked it all the way across that bag of birdseed. The birdseed was just pouring out on the floor. Again, pouring out so fast, it was making a sound like the wind. And to tell you the truth, I know Monte was mad at me. I remember that, but I don't think he made me pay for it. To be quite frank with you, I think he taped it up and left it. We loaded it back up, and he slapped some tape on it, and we kept trying to sell it, I think. Anyway, okay. Not the best story I've ever told, but I kind of like it. Love you. Thanks for watching.